Okay. All right. I'm going to call the regular meeting of the zoning administrator for the city of San Clemente to order. My name is Cecilia Gallardo Daly, and I'm the zoning administrator. All right. So the first order of business is to receive and file the minutes of the May 18, 2023 zoning administrator meeting. All right. So received and filed. The next item on the agenda is oral and written communication. This is the time on the agenda when any member of the audience may address the zoning administrator on an item within the jurisdiction of the zoning administrator that is not on the agenda. But it doesn't seem like there is anyone here wishing to speak on this item. So we'll move on to our public hearings. We have two public hearings today. The public hearing process includes a staff presentation, a presentation by the applicant not to exceed 10 minutes, and public testimony not to exceed 3 minutes per speaker. Following closure of the public hearing, the zoning administrator will respond to questions raised during the hearing, discuss the issues, and act upon the matter by motion. So the first public hearing item is a minor conditional use permit for J'adore Cafe Beer and Wine at 165 Avenida Del Mar, Suite A, and we'll have our staff planner, Laura Corey, give us a presentation on this item.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Laura Corey. I'm Assistant Planner in the Planning Division, and I'll be presenting MCUP 22427 J'adore Cafe Beer and Wine Permit on behalf of David Carrillo, Assistant Planner. The business is located at 165 Avenida Del Mar in Suite A. It's in the mixed-use 3 zone district in the architectural overlay, the central business overlay, and also the coastal overlay. The parcel is located near the intersection of Avenida Del Mar and South Ola Vista, and is surrounded by commercial businesses such as retail shops, personal service, restaurants to the north, east, south, and west. The project site is a developed 4,000 square foot interior lot in the downtown district, and the lot is developed with a 3,600 square foot 2-story building with a rear detached storage building and a rear outdoor patio building. Existing uses on this site include the J'adore Cafe Restaurant, Swirl Boutique in Suite B, and those are on the first floor, and the residential unit on the second. J'adore Cafe has been operating since 2019 and currently offers indoor and outdoor dining between the hours of 7 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. The cafe plans to expand their hours to 9 p.m. The MCUP is a request for indoor-outdoor on-site service, sales, consumption of beer and wine at the J'adore Cafe, consisting of 15 indoor seats and 8 outdoor seats. Proposed alcohol service hours are between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. daily. And per our zoning ordinance, section 1740-03, zoning administrator approval for the minor conditional use permit is required for beer and wine service indoors and out with up to 16 outdoor seats in the conjunction with the restaurant as the primary use. The indoor So the findings for the minor conditional use permit, staff supports the proposed request for the following reasons. The indoor and outdoor beer and wine service at the restaurant is conditionally permitted in the mixed use 3.0 zone. The proposed beer and wine service for on-site consumption is ancillary to the existing restaurant. The proposed intent of the mixed use 3 is to provide a pedestrian-oriented use, such as a restaurant with outdoor dining. The proposed beer and wine service complements the restaurant's food menu and provides eating options for visitors. The general plan supports, the requested use does not intensify the required parking, as no additional indoor-outdoor seating is proposed. The restaurant currently has an on-street parklet, which provides up to 24 seats in compliance with the temporary parklet dining. This expanded seating is temporary and does not require additional off-street parking in accordance with Section 1728-206. So Orange County Sheriff's Department, the code compliance staff, and also the State Department of Alcohol Beverage Control reviewed the proposed alcohol service and concluded that alcohol can be served and consumed on site without compatibility issues, provided that the operations comply with the licensing requirements, conditions of approval, and the regulations. The proposed alcohol service hours are consistent with other restaurants downtown which serve hard alcohol and beer and wine. The latest alcohol service hours in the area are to midnight for some restaurants such as South of Nick's and Pizza Port. And in August 2022, the zoning administrator approved alcohol service hours from 7 to 9 for Captain Mari's restaurant on Avenida Del Mar. And as for CEQA, the project is categorically exempt under existing facilities and involves negligible or no expansion of existing former use because the request is limited to the indoor-outdoor on-site beer and wine service to the existing restaurant. We haven't received any public comments at this time. Therefore, staff recommends the zoning administrator determine the project is exempt from CEQA requirements pursuant to CEQA guidelines 15301, Class 1, existing facilities, and adopt resolution 23010 approving minor conditional use permit 22427, subject to the attached conditions of approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't have any follow-up questions for staff on this item. Would the applicant wish to speak or add any comments regarding the request?
I don't have any question. I think they did a good job. And,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay, and I don't have any questions for you. I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this item? This is the minor conditional use permit for J'adore Cafe Beer and Wine.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, I just came in just in time.
Oh, okay.
I
Go ahead
can- I
and
can-
state your name for the record, and
Oh,
I'm going to
sure.
have you fill out a card there. You can fill it out after, but just go ahead and give me your name for the record.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
We're recording.
We're recording, yeah.
My name is Bobby Carey. I am a resident of San Clemente for 21 years. I came to speak in favor of J'adore's application for a liquor license. I've been going to J'adore since they opened. I know Dan, I know Ty. I have a few notes, but they're kind of jibber jabber. I think their staff is amazing. They're very helpful and friendly. They have a lot of young kids that work there, and they're professional and helpful. The place has a really great vibe. Everybody seems happy, and the food is amazing. It's healthy. Ty is an amazing cook. Everything is prepared fresh. My kids love the food. And all the food I think tastes like it's from a garden. Like she just pulled the stuff out and prepared it and made the dishes. So, and speaking of the garden, I don't know if you've ever been to J'adore. There's a secret garden in the back, which I love. It's a cozy backyard with ambiance. It's really nice to relax, eat a meal, have your breakfast croissant or your lunch salad. And I would like nothing more than to have a glass of wine or champagne in that secret garden with my meal. And I don't understand, the why it's taking so long, especially I think I heard there's all the other restaurants on Del Mar and in the area. And J'adore's only open until 2:30 in the afternoon. So it seems like a no-brainer to me, but I just wanted to give my support because I love Dan and Ty and just the best little cafe, French cafe, very unique, one of a kind. If you haven't been, you should go and try it out.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
All right. Don't see anyone else wishing to speak, so I'm going to close the public hearing now. And thank you for your comments and thank you for your application. I know that J'adore is a well-loved establishment in town, and we're happy to have it as one of our downtown businesses. It's definitely a source of pride. I can make the findings for the proposed request. The beer and wine service is ancillary to the proposed restaurant use, which is existing and has been operating since 2019. The proposed request doesn't intensify the required parking, so no additional parking is provided, and no additional seating is required for the proposed use. I know your request was to add or was to have alcohol service until 8 p.m., but because the business can be open until 9 p.m., we've just included in the permit that you can have beer and wine sales until 9 p.m.
Okay.
if you so choose to adjust the hours in the future.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
with that, I will determine that the project is categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15301, Class 1 existing facilities, and I approve Resolution ZA 23-010, approving the minor conditional use permit 22-427, subject to the conditions of approval. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Jen. All right, and so I will email you and let you know. We have the appeal period, the 10-day appeal period. And then I believe you could sign that, right? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, why not?
So you put your name, print your name, and then sign here.
Perfect.
The date. You still have the 10-day appeal period, but this is just one of the, it's your consent to the conditions of approval. And that was sent to you via email with the report.
Oh, perfect.
Laura, I'm going to go ahead with the next
Yes,
item.
sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Okay, so moving on to the
So I'm going to move back.
moving on to the next public hearing item. It is a minor conditional use permit for Pet Clementi at 2727 Via Cascadita, Suite F, and we will have our staff planner, Laura Corey, give us a report on this item.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm here with Zaki Amadi, the business owner. My name is Laura Corey. I'm assistant planner to the planning division, and I will be presenting CUP 23001.
You can't close the door.
Okay. I will be presenting MCUP 23001 Pet Clementi, a request to allow full service pet grooming service facility in the neighborhood commercial 1.1 zone and in the coastal overlay. The business is located at 2727 Via Cascadita, Unit F. It's zoned neighborhood commercial 1.1 and in the coastal zone. The proposed use would occupy a unit and a multi-unit commercial center near the corner of Avenida Vaquero and Camino Capistrano. The single-story commercial center includes 25,400 square foot building space on a 2.76 acre site. Current tenants in the center include San Clemente Department of Motor Vehicles, the Salvation Army Thrift Store and Donation Center, Fired Up Smoke Shop, IBM Insurance, Shorecliffs Bar and Grill, and Distinctive Body Art Studio. The scope of the request is to operate a pet grooming business in Unit F of the multi-tenant site. The unit is 1,051 square feet unit and is currently vacant and was formerly occupied by Hair Salon. The pet grooming shop will offer bathing, grooming, nail care, teeth cleaning, ear cleaning, and other services. The owner will utilize the front office space for scheduling appointments as needed. Appointments will generally occur Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. In addition, the minor conditional use permit, the applicant is in the process of obtaining a kennel permit for through the Coastal Animal Service Authority of San Clemente and Dana Point. If the MCUP is approved, Animal Service will conduct an inspection of the shop to set up, and the in condition of approval 7.19 requires the permit to be obtained prior to the issuance of the business license. The proposed use does not increase the demand for parking at the site. Currently, there are 121 parking spaces shared between the center tenants. The pet grooming use would require one parking space per 300 feet of business area and based on the unit size is adequate to park a parking and demand of 4 parking spaces. The previous use was a hair salon and required 1 space for 200 square feet. The requirements of the beauty salon are more intensive for parking. For the pet grooming, clients typically drop off for the service and pick up at a later time, so the demand for parking is less intensive than personal service use, where clients remain on site. There are 4 spaces assigned to Unit F per the shared parking table for the address at 2727 Via Cascadita Center. So, zoning ordinance section 17-16070 requires that the zoning administrator approve of a minor conditional use permit to allow a pet grooming business within the neighborhood commercial 1.1 zone per the commercial use table. Required parking for this site is provided, and the proposed use does not increase overall parking demand for the site. No exterior building or site changes are proposed as part of the request. The building can support the proposed use with the completion of minor interior tenant improvements. And before the proposed use may operate, a kennel permit with a business license is required. The project will comply with all state laws that require pet grooming operators maintain the facility in good repair, provide proper care to the animals. Cleaning and grooming areas are cleaned daily. Primary enclosures must be structurally sound, provide adequate space, and be waterproof and protect from injury. And with regards to the project and the CEQA, the project is categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to the CEQA guidelines section 1503, existing class 1 existing facilities. The project involves minor alterations to an existing building, and the proposed use will occur in a developed commercial center. The proposed project will not result in cumulative impacts and no alteration to the physical structure or environment. We have not received any public comments on this item. Therefore, staff recommends the zoning administrator determine the project exempt from CEQA requirements pursuant to the CEQA guidelines section 15301, class 1 existing facilities, because the project proposed involves a negligible expansion of the existing facility, and adopt resolution 23011 approving minor conditional use permit 23001 Pet Clemente, subject to the attached conditions of approval.
Thank you, Laura. I just have one follow-up question for you.
Yes.
Will the business be conducted entirely indoors?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no anticipated outdoor operations involved?
Correct.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. And would you like to speak or address the item at all?
No comment, no.
No.
Everything is good. Thank you for Laura. She's been great. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. All right, so I'm going to open the public hearing. Don't see anyone else wishing to speak, so I'm going to close the public hearing. I read through the report. I'm familiar with the site. I think that this business will be a nice added addition to the shopping center. There's a mix of uses that are occurring at that location now. I think that the DMV is probably the biggest consumer of all the parking spaces there, but it looks like there's plenty of room to accommodate your operations, and it is a less intense use than the proposed hair salon that was there previously. The project is conditioned to obtain a kennel permit from the Coastal Animal Services Authority prior to opening for business. So this use does require the approval of a minor conditional use permit, and I'm able to make the findings for the minor conditional use permit. So I will determine that the project is categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15301, class 1 existing facilities, and I approve resolution ZA 23-011 approving conditional use permit 23-001 Pet Clementi, subject to the conditions of approval. All right, thank you. Okay, and moving on here, that concludes the public hearing items. The next item on the agenda is new business. Seeing none, we'll move to the next item, old business. Seeing none, I will adjourn this meeting to the next regular meeting of the zoning administrator to be held at 3 p.m. on Thursday, July 20th, 2023 at the Community Development Department, first floor community room located at 910 Calle Negocio, San Clemente, California. Thank you.
Okay.